Thank you for joining us. We've been talking about the stress and the trauma that many Angelenos are experiencing as a result of the fires in LA. And I'm being joined by Ashinee Reynolds, MFT, marriage and family therapist and life coach and PhD candidate. And you do a lot of work in the community and with families and with children. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it seems like when we're talking about stress and the way that we're responding and our body's responding and our mind is responding to tremendous stress and loss, we tend to focus on ourselves. Are there other people that we should be thinking about that often get kind of left behind?
Yeah, especially during these times where we're kind of dealing with the impact and aftermath of the fires. I think we should be very mindful to remember the children that are in our lives, the youth and the kids. You know, parents and caregivers of children, they're often focusing on they have to regulate their self, but often the day-to-day tasks that need to be done during this time. So just a kind reminder that the kiddos need us. Yeah.
So as we're kind of watching TV and kind of scrolling, getting updates and all that, and we're pretty wrapped up in kind of what we're feeling in survival mode and watching, should we evacuate, should we not? But children are also watching kind of what's happening too, right? What are some of the things that we need to be thinking about when it comes to them?
Yeah, I would just remember that children are very impressionable. So if you are watching the news, be mindful if it's having an impact on you. You should definitely believe that it's probably having an impact on the child. And so what that looks like too is creating a space for them to ask questions. You know, as we watch these things on television or on our phones, like it looks scary. It could literally scare a child. So having a space where you're opening it for them to share their feelings and answer their questions to the best of your ability and kind of walk through it with them. And then another thing is, where possible, try to keep your routine as much as possible. Children like the familiarity. It creates a safety for them. So it's just a friendly reminder to remember the kids during this time too, and how much, if we're feeling it, imagine how much they're feeling too.
Yeah, thank you for that reminder, because it's so easy to just get wrapped up in how we're dealing with it. But to remember that especially children could really, really use a check-in, maybe a timeout, a time for them to acknowledge what they're feeling. And then, of course, to keep their routine intact as much as possible. So thank you so much for being with us and for sharing this helpful information.
My pleasure.
And is there any way that we can follow up with you or connect with you further?
Yes, if you'd like more support, I encourage everyone to visit moderndaywellness.org. Again, that's moderndaywellness.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ash.
Thank you.